What's up, guys? I'm Layla, and welcome to the Catch Me Up podcast where we vibe with random. Today's topic is how people view dancers. When I tell people I'm a dancer, they're like, oh, so you wear tights and tutus? Like, obviously, that's a part of being a ballet dancer, but it's so much more than that. Dance is about expressing yourself. In this episode, we eliminate misconceptions of the dancer stereotype. Number 1. Dance moms is not the definition of a dancer and a dance atmosphere. Sure, it can be entertaining, but it's not always the most accurate. Clarification, you do not need to wear tiny outfits to look good on stage. Don't be ashamed of being modest. Number 2. Dance helps people create authentic connections and build their teamwork. It's not always about competition, knocking out other teammates, and fighting over solos. And number 3. You can 100% still do dance even if you aren't on a competition team or didn't start when you were little. I started dancing just a few years ago, and I find it so much fun that I can do what I love without dealing with the stress and drama that comes along with being on a comp team. And honestly, it depends on what kind of team you're on, because some teams will definitely be more strict and competitive, but definitely the majority of them should not be to the point that Dance Moms is. People say that dancers are weak. Let me tell you, they are not. Let me say that again. Dancers are not weak. It takes so much coordination, strength, and focus to be a dancer, especially in ballet, but in almost every type of dance. Did you know that dance is a more physically demanding sport than football? Yeah, it's hard work. It takes a lot of emotional strength too, because a lot of it is endurance-based, and having the motivation to work hard, which I think some people struggle with. So yeah, dancers definitely have a lot of strength mentally and physically. Another thing that I've encountered a lot, which I don't know if you guys have, but hopefully you can relate, but when people ask me what kind of dance I do, I say ballet, and I have point shoes, but I'm surprised by how many people don't know what point shoes are, because the most common responses I've gotten are like, isn't that what every dancer wears? I've also gotten people who don't understand how hard it is to go on point because they don't understand how much pressure is just on your foot alone. So that's another thing I struggle with is knowing what to tell people when they ask me questions like that in a way that they'll be able to understand if they don't know dance terminology and stuff. One of my biggest pet peeves is when people call point shoes toe shoes. Maybe I'm just overreacting, but I value calling things by the right name because then it doesn't create confusion and stuff. And also toe shoes sounds kind of tacky and less professional in my opinion. And point shoes deserve an elegant name because they're elegant. Another thing I want to address is flexibility. I'm not very flexible when it comes to doing splits and stuff, and I'm always surrounded by these people who are uber flexible and they can just go into whatever pose they want whenever. And I have to stretch for minutes before, and sometimes I still have trouble getting into it. So for all those people out there who are dancers that aren't the most flexible, I just want you guys to know that you are so capable and you can still look pretty on stage even if you're not very flexible. And you don't need to be able to do over splits and all these crazy things just to be a good dancer. So before I end this podcast episode, I'm just going to give my advice to all the dancers out there. But my advice is just keep going. You can do it. You can make it. Just make sure you stay grounded and really keep in focus, what your goals are and what you want to become, instead of getting caught up in the mindset of what do other people think of me, and I'm not good enough unless don't think that way. Just you can do it. So yeah, that's the end of this episode. I just like to keep them short so that you can listen to them wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, without having to commit to listening to a really long thing. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time.